Hey, you probably know me. I'm Ian, and this is my final project. I did a painting over a modern interpretation of Castor and Pollux, which is a Greek myth which involves two brothers. So I did take videos of the entire painting process, but what I want to show you are just tiny clips of it so that I don't swamp you with about 5 hours worth of painting videos. Now what you're seeing here is you're seeing me painting in fast motion. And what I had done the first day is I started with the black background of the night, and then I moved on to the green grass area that's down below. And so you're just seeing me outline the figure and the horse that are featured in my painting. In this section of me painting, you see me kind of starting in with the green, and you've already seen right there that I've done a good portion of it. So I start at the bottom of the painting and go from dark green grass to sort of lighter. And that's just because when I was observing outside grass at night, as I looked at the grass closest to myself, it looked darker. And then as I looked up and away from myself, it seemed to get lighter. And it wasn't exactly green, it was like kind of a yellow grayish mix. And so that's what you see in the painting. In the painting and in the video, I'm adding yellow to black and making that my grass, and then yellow to gray as well, and that's the lighter colored grass. And as for my stroke, I'm trying to make it look like wild grass and not like, I don't know, not like smooth brush strokes. So, trying to make it kind of darky, very strokey, I don't know, something like that. In this section of me painting, you see that I'm just kind of adding shading to the horse that I've already colored in. I've also already put in the light sunset. Now, starting with the sunset, I tried to make kind of like, not like a really bright sunset, because I wanted to emphasize that we're moving into the night. And so I put in just light orange, maybe a little brown. I added a little bit of purple in, just because when it is sunset, there is that amount of color to it. So I put in a lot of like uh, dark orange and a little bit of purple, but then mostly I shaded in the horizon and just spanning out from that corner of the sky a lot of gray in with the black. And so you see kind of a gray shading as much as I could, because gray shading is actually more difficult than it looks. Now as for the horse, what you see me doing right now is I'm mixing in a combination of light light brown and dark brown in with the normal horse color of just regular brown. And so I started at the top of the horse, and you see me adding in a light brown, and then at the bottom of the horse you have a dark brown, and eventually just like a black at the bottom. And that's from there will be a star at the top left corner of my painting, and so the light is going to be coming from that. And so I'm adding in this amount of like color to it just for extra effect. What I wanted to draw attention to here was the star that I'm about to add in, because this was actually the most difficult part for me. Some of the part because of the shading for it, but mostly because of the shape, which I had trouble just getting down in the first place on paper. And so what I ended up doing is that if you see to my right on the video, I did several different like versions of the star trying to just practice to get it down, but I don't know. I wasn't too happy with it the way it turned out in the painting. But what I was happy with is like I was able to shade it okay. So it started with the bright white center and then kind of morphing out into like a white yellow and then white yellow orange mixture. And so I was able to add warmth to it and then doing gray shading around it, around the star itself. Now, I'll just draw attention to it just because it might be shown in the video. I did put a slight shadow underneath the horse, and yes, it is pointing the wrong direction. Hopefully nobody will notice, but I think it's just cool just adding in. It's just, again, that dark yellow gray, like black kind of color that makes it look green. But I just added that in just because I thought it would make it look cool, and I think it turned out okay. Now, in case anyone who's watching this didn't read my background to the painting, what it's supposed to be is it's supposed to be a modern interpretation of the Greek myth of Castor and Pollux. Now, I'm not sure how, but the background for Castor and Pollux is that they're twin brothers, or, yeah, I think they're twins. I've been taking it as they're twins. And Pollux is somehow a demigod, part god, part human, and then Castor is all human. So in life, they're both really good horsemen, they're both warriors, they're sportsmen, and they stick together, really. They're real brotherly brothers. They do everything together. They were on the Argo with Jason. They went on a bunch of different quests together. Now, what happened along the way is that in one of their battles with some of their other cousins, Castor ends up dying. And so Pollux just is torn apart. So what he does is he goes to Zeus, the head god, and he says, "Listen, Zeus, either let me die and be with my brother in the underworld, or let him live and be with me, so that we can be together." And so Zeus, I don't think he understood or anything. So what he did is he says, "Okay, I'm going to let you guys switch off days. And so one day, one of you is up in Earth, the other is in the underworld. The other day, you guys flip places." So still they're not together. So come on, Zeus, get with it. But the main part is at the end, eventually, they end up going in the sky and being stars as the Gemini constellation, which if you know anything about constellation, is two stars like side by side together. And so I think that's really cool. So in my painting, what I show is this cowboy horseman person, because that's who they were in life. They were expert horsemen. One horseman is chasing after the star, and so that's supposed to be Pollux chasing after his brother Castor. And the shape of the star is their classical shape for the star, which I found at the Nelson Atkins Museum, and that's where I got the inspiration, both from the painting Persephone and from a partial statue that I saw around the Egyptian Greek area. Here's the finished product.